Hi, welcome to this episode with me, James Walters. This episode is part of our mini-series on climate change, where we'll cover everything from what is climate change, the causes, the effects, and how you can help to stop climate change. In previous episodes, we covered what is climate change, the causes of climate change, and the effects. For this one, part 4, we'll cover the main causes of global warming in the UK and how to stop global warming by reducing emissions from transport and energy. If we're to stop global warming, we need to start with the areas that produce the most greenhouse gas emissions. Based on the latest UK greenhouse gas emissions report, transport produces 27% of UK greenhouse gas emissions, energy 21%, business 17%, agriculture 10%, residential 15%, other, not sure what that is, but is 5%, and then waste management is 4%. The next goal in the climate crisis is to halve global emissions by 2030. With that goal in mind, let's look at what we can do to reduce emissions in the 4 sectors that create the most greenhouse gas emissions in the UK. For transport, the report includes emissions from road transport, domestic aviation, railways, and domestic shipping. The main source of emissions from transport is the use of petrol and diesel in road transport, in particular passenger cars. Switching from diesel and petrol cars to hybrid or electric vehicles has to be a priority. It's also important to question each journey. Is it important to drive? If it's for work, can it be done remotely using Zoom or Google Meet? If it's a short journey, how about walking or cycling? If you absolutely have to drive, it's quick, easy, and low cost to offset your carbon emissions. Offsetting isn't the best solution, but it's better than doing nothing. At least it helps to fund projects that will reduce carbon emissions. Here are some other ideas. You could try switching from the car to walking, cycling, bus, or train. You could try buying used instead of buying new. You could find out about your carbon footprint, or you could forage for food for free. A random collection, but some ideas. Now, I've recently, within the last 6 months, discovered a mobile app called Kogo Carbon Tracker. Kogo automatically shows you your carbon footprint every month. You basically connect your bank accounts and credit cards to the app, and based on what you spend, it automatically shows you your carbon footprint. It then allows you to simply click offset. So what I do at the start of every month, I look back at my previous month. It shows me my carbon footprint. I click the offset button. I choose the emissions reduction project that I want to pay for. And it's super, super low cost. I purchase the emissions reduction project, and within a few minutes I get the certificate. Now, these are verified emissions reduction projects from a company called South Pole, who are a huge company that is involved in these sorts of projects. And the fact that you get the certificate means that the reduction has happened now. It's already done. Whereas rewilding and planting of trees, whilst that is still also essential, and I also do that, that will not reduce emissions until a few years, many years in the future. So I see it that we need to reduce emissions immediately now. So that's where I use Kogo and South Pole projects. And we also need to rewild and improve the planet for future generations. So just have a think about that Android and iPhone mobile app called Kogo Carbon Tracker. It makes it very easy. Now, for energy, the report includes emissions from electricity generation and other energy production activities such as mining, refining, and manufacturing of fuels. In the end user estimates, these estimates are instead assigned between the other sectors based on where the electricity or fuel is used, or to the export sector where they are used abroad. The simple solution here is to move to an energy provider with renewable and green electricity and gas. Better still, if you can afford it, switch from a gas boiler to a heat pump. Keep an eye out for the government subsidies to help with the costs. It's also important for investment to stop going to fossil fuels. You have the power to influence this by switching to an ethical bank and transferring your pension to a sustainable and ethical fund. Here are some other ideas. So you could switch to an ethical bank account. You could try not flushing after every wee when you go to the toilet. You could try conserving more energy with energy efficient electricals. You could try turning off your gas boiler in summer to help climate change. You could switch to a green energy supplier, transfer to an ethical pension, switch to an ethical mobile phone network, and you could save water with a watering can and rainwater. Again, a bit of a random collection of ideas, but hopefully to stimulate some thought. Now, if you are interested to switch to an ethical bank, a green energy supplier, or an ethical pension, I'd definitely recommend going to the Ethical Consumer website. They've got some product guides on each of those areas. They'll show you the most ethical companies in each area and the reasons why. You can get that for free, or you can pay for a subscription to Ethical Consumer to get a lot more detail. But they generally show you the ones that are best in class for free. When it comes to an ethical bank, the one that tops the chart is always Triodos. But then I can also recommend Starling Bank. When it comes to a green energy supplier, I recently switched to Green Energy UK. They've also just rebranded as GE UK, and they are the only UK supplier with 100% green gas and green and renewable electricity, so do check them out. The other to check out is Ecotricity, and for a lot more, for many different reasons, you can check out the product guide on Ethical Consumer. For the pension, you should always seek independent financial advice, but again, it's good to start with the Ethical Consumer product buyer's guide. Now, we still have time to take action and help stop climate change. The next goal in the climate crisis is to halve global emissions by 2030. By changing how we live, where we keep our money, how we spend our money, we can all play our part in stopping climate change. Stay tuned for part 5 of this mini-series, where we'll cover how to stop climate change by reducing emissions in the next 2 biggest greenhouse gas emitters, which is business and agriculture. So, if you got this far, then you're probably thinking that it's important to reverse climate change and to grow, eat and live sustainably to improve our lives and the lives of future generations, which is why I came up with the Sustainability Roadmap. The NAFED Junction Sustainability Roadmap is about what each of us can do in our day-to-day lives. It's about creating a new lifestyle where it's natural to do everything we can to reduce our consumption and waste and live in a way that considers others. This Sustainability Roadmap won't fix everything. We need governments and businesses to do that. However, changing government policies and business practices can be influenced by our actions. This roadmap is about doing things where we have the power, things that can encourage and eventually force governments and businesses to change. We can do something now and be a part of hitting the next milestone in the climate crisis, which is to halve global emissions by 2030. Here's what you can do. Try the Sustainability Roadmap with 40+ solutions to climate change at nafedjunction.co.uk/roadmap. Use the company directory to help you grow, eat and live sustainably at nafedjunction.co.uk/directory. Be inspired. Know that we can reverse climate change if we do something about it. Talk to your friends and colleagues. Share this with others. Links to everything I mentioned, as well as sources used to create this piece, can be found in the description or in the article titled How to Stop Global Warming at nafedjunction.co.uk/blog. Keep listening to this episode for more ways that you can help stop climate change. Where next? There's so much inspiring information to give you ideas of how to help climate change by growing, eating and living sustainably. You can go to nafedjunction.co.uk, read our articles, subscribe to our podcast, sign up to our free email newsletter, join the #VoteWithOurMoney campaign, work through the sustainability roadmap, find companies to help you grow, eat and live sustainably. Follow NAFED Junction on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Help us inspire others. If you're passionate about helping climate change, please consider supporting NAFED Junction. You can become a patron to give regular contributions. Buy me a coffee to make a one-off contribution. Create for us and publish thought-provoking content. Become an inspiring leader and advertise with us. Go to nafedjunction.co.uk/support. This was produced by me, James Walters, as a personal project to help stop climate change by inspiring others to grow, eat and live sustainably. Any advice given is the opinion of those involved and does not constitute medical, financial or legal advice. We may include links we think you will find useful. If you buy through those links, we may earn a small commission. It's one way to support our work and to inspire as many people as possible. Thanks for listening. Come back soon. Bye-bye.